Morning, Jay here from I Wander UK. 12th of January 22, just out for a training day. The opening clip there is just an example of sometimes trying to find footpaths and bridleways can be a little awkward. First 3 times I came this way, there was cars on that drive and I thought there's no way that I'd get permission to go through there. All I can suggest is perseverance. How I found it was come back through the other way. Doing a longer one today. A couple of days ago I did 2 days wet weather gear training. Got a bit of damp in my back, so I rested up for a couple of days. So doing one of my favourite walks, about 13 miles up to Minehead in Cornwall. I'll show you some of the views later. Here's a view of the first aim port. It's Carradon Hill, just about up here. Refocus please. It'd be lovely if it's footpaths all the way. Unfortunately it's a little road work. I'll show you a glimpse of it in a minute. Little quick example of the country road you have to walk down. Unfortunately it's not 30-mile-an-hour style walking down the road. Some people don't seem to be able to judge how wide their vehicles are or how fast they're actually travelling. But hey ho, it's essential. Last little bit of the road work. Like I say, there's no point in getting negative about it. Just think about it joining up. Make sure your boots and your laces are tied up, your bag's adjusted. It's always worth it. Yeah, it's always worth it when you get to see that sign. And then you get to walk through places like this. Bear with me. This is Rose Craddock Woods, and in the late spring, April, May, it's stunning. The whole thing's covered with bluebells. Well worth a visit. Don't tell everyone. As I was saying, I do enjoy this walk. When I walk up here now, it reminds me of the first time I actually tried finding this route through. I'm finding little things like this, just cute little stars, really make it for me. That sense of achievement of linking a few bits together and finding out and discovering it for the first time. It's always astounding. First time I walked this route, it was in the summer, and this hedge was a lot larger and overgrown. You can see it's been cut down. And got to the end there, and can you see this sign? Private, no public access. Standing from here, it's like, oh no, I've gone the wrong way. But commit to it. A little bit further, and just to the right, there's your footpath / stile going across. And then the excitement when you do come across that stile and you get your aim point in target again. Brilliant. I may have said before, when I was first trying to find these routes, I found it really helpful to go on the local council website. They show you the footpaths and the bridleways, and just cross-refer that to Google Maps. And for that little bit of reassurance, pin little markers on Google Maps and just identify them however you want. 1, 2, 3. It just gives you that little bit of confidence when you're out and about. Cautionary note: don't totally rely on your phone. They fail, the batteries go, you lose the signal, but it's a good start point when you're out and about, just to build up your confidence. And then you end up walking around places like this. With not a soul around, and that's what I love about it. Another example of footpath not always obvious. I know I had to change here, like I said before in previous experience, but that post was totally overgrown, and so was this wall. Literally 4 or 5 months ago. You just have to have the courage of your convictions and go for it. The actual footpath part is right in the centre of this hedge here. Just trying to point it just there, not on either side. Where we're heading now is straight across the field, across the stile, up towards those hay bales wrapped in black plastic. And then the village you can just see there is Crow's Nest, through Crow's Nest, and then up that hill to Carradon Mast. About centre of screen right now, but the views from there, just wait. It's great to get glimpses of where you're going through and little vistas of where you're aiming for, little farmyards and stuff. But sometimes, let's be honest, it's not all Instagram. Sometimes you have to walk through the shit, and I literally mean the shit. This is a surplus to requirement, I believe, for this vehicle ahead, which is basically collecting this off the field and spreading it just over there. Water running down off the hills, even though it hasn't rained for at least 48 hours. It seems to be never ending. I've got to love that sound. Literally 3 to 4 minutes away from the village or the road, it opens out into this. Let's go and have a look around. Up a few little slopes and the views start opening up. In the distance you can see the sea just. I think it's about Loo Bay, something like that. It's about 14-15 miles away from here. Not too shabby for a January morning. There's also other stuff to see. Imagine even trying to build a chimney that big out of stones that aren't even square. And then you get like these engine houses. Amazing. Just a few minutes away from the previous engine house, more stuff to explore. As you're getting a little higher, there's this to enjoy. I realise the sun might be in there, but the camera never does as much as the eye either. But apart from a little haze, you might just catch the reflection on the sea just about here. Well worth the walk just for this. Up to here, stop and have a cup of tea, and then the last little bit up to there to Carradon Hill. Sometimes it's nice to find a table so you don't have to bend down. A ready-made table. And I'm more than happy to sit here and wait for this to brew while I'm take 5 minutes to admire this and take it all in. On the hill will be St Clear. Coming down the valley and back up the hill again is Liscard. And then in the distance, Loo Bay. Gonna leave these views behind. And now a little bit more walking just to get to the top of here. A few minutes. When you're walking, particularly uphill or a tough bit, to make it a chore, stop and take a little look back, see what you've achieved and how much it's changed since last time you looked. Another view looking down to St Clair. When you're out walking, again take time. If you look carefully, see 3 chimney stacks, and at one point they're all in a direct line, which is great when you're walking around for a landmark. I'm on the top of the hill now, and I'll be walking over just above that engine house, and the biggest lump in the distance is Cheese Ring. Before then I need to walk across the moor here, past an old water fill pit which a lot of the young people use in the summer, called Donkey Pond, locally known as Donkey Pond. Great fun. And then down to the little village there called Minions, which has got the highest pub in Cornwall, and back out across that way to the tour above Sibley Back Lake. Walking across Carradon Hill now, past the Waterfield quarry pit, not quarry pit, but pit filled with water. Past the horses. Just above the engine house there is Cheese Ring, and the lump just behind the brown horse there is Sharp Tor. And I'm heading down towards Minions, just there. Coming to the walking through the little village of Minions. Unfortunately the pub's closed, burnt down just before Christmas. But there's other places where you can get a tea and something to eat just on the green there. Out past the village of Minions, back out on the moors, past these standing stones, hurlers, and then in the distance there is the Cheese Ring. But we're heading out over this way, out past that engine house as a landmark. There's Carradon Hill, which we came up from the other side of, to the right. Up over Carradon Hill, down Minions, which you can't quite see now, the engine house, just the other side of Hurlers. And just the tip of Cheese Ring there. And we're heading out this way past this engine house. Like I say, there's a reference point, the first marker to the engine house. Turn just slightly right. Other people outside enjoying the weather. They look a lot bigger in real life. Their view must be amazing. Just a quick look back. There's Cheese Ring. To the right of that engine house is Minions. Carradon Hill. Engine house you need to be looking at, there's another bit of derelict building there. You need to head just up the hill to that small pile of rocks. Not really at all, but could be, I guess. From this pile, you need to be looking to the left. And that tor in the distance, not too far away. Maybe 20 minutes walk. But that's where we're heading for next. You may just get a glimpse of the shine off Sibley Back Lake. They look like they're having great fun. Buzzing Cheese Ring. We're heading out to that tor there, which I'm just trying to identify. This one just here. You need to not head directly at it, you need to go to the right. For the obvious reason, there's a dry stone wall there, farmer's field. You just get your first view of Sibley Back Lake there in the centre. Just a quickie, just update. Again, there's Carradon Hill to the right, Cheese Ring to the left. Just a little look back and see where you've done. And we're following the edge of this wall up on top of the tor there. But you need to find your way through. Sometimes it's worth following little animal tracks, other times perhaps not. Nearly there. When you get to the tor, it's worth that extra couple of minutes, bit of effort to get to the top. Views are always worth it. Cheese Ring, Carradon. Possibly be able to see the chimneys that I pointed out earlier. Tip of St Clear in the distance. fantastic view of Sibley Back Lake. Looking down on this is fantastic when the sun goes down. And further out onto the moor up to the north coast. It is so noisy up here. From here, you need to walk past the standing stones just there and head towards the lake. See that little gap in the thicket there of trees. And get back across the footpath to Common Moor is the next stage. The little tiny village there. Bring yourself down to Sibley Back Lake so you can see over the lake to the dam in the distance, and then along this little road just for a quarter of a mile or so, look out for the footpath sign. It's a 5-bar gate on the left hand side just by a farmer's track. Turn a little left at this road here, look out for that 5-bar gate there. You can get through it, it's a bit old and wobbly like some others, and follow this footpath through here to Common Moor. Keep on the same level in between gorse bushes and some really old, gnarly but lovely beautiful trees, until a little ahead there's a fork. Just keep an eye out for it, and you need to bear left onto that fork. Here's the fork, as I said, bear left, don't take the right, and try and watch where you're going and don't do what I did and just went A over T. There you are. This is the style you're looking out for. It's a bit of a scramble up, so people attach bits of string and stuff to it to assist you. But you need to go across here. Ignore the burgers and leather factory and head down to the centre of here, which is to your right. It's black and white to me. Just keep following this track down a bit till you get to the gate at the end. Keep to the end of the track, and this is the gate you're looking for. One with the big rock next to the left hand side. The added clue is the sound of the stream running just underneath there. You're looking for this. Down this track till it gets to a little road which is just on the outskirts of the little village of Common Moor. 5 or 6 minutes walk possibly. Opens out onto a road and look for the turning right to the village hall. The magical part of the footpath, just a little narrow footpath following this stream, meandering way around the back of these houses. To find it is quite secretive. Don't be frightened of walking through someone's house at the end when you first initially come in. The size of that granite block. It's going to be long there after I've gone. Stream is swap side, but you won't believe it. Your boots are going to get wet and muddy, but then that part of the enjoyment. And as you come to the end of the path, it literally looks like you're going into someone's back garden. That's drive, because you are. Walk to the end of the drive and cross this tiny little road. It's got a farmyard or something. That's up there. Past this old tractor. The stream on your right and the stile's just here, and walk through to there. Follow the stile just here, with the stream running on the right hand side, follow it out and head towards the gate. There's a metal kissing gate just to the right hand side of there, which is the footpath. Through a metal 5-bar gate with cows, sheep or both likely there, with the stream running on your left hand side through like a little meadow. Do not, repeat, do not take the left hand style as we're looking at. We need to be heading to the end of this field, to the left of this old barn, right to the end of the wall. Wander down the hill for 3 or 4 minutes and start hearing the sound of water to the right hand side with the final treat of today, Goliath Falls. Give yourself some time, go down and explore. There's an Inky's down there, which is a food place, does great burgers, but I think they're only open from spring through summer. Check it out. I was saying, Goliath Falls, well worth a walk down and explore down by the river. Fantastic. Take your dogs for a walk, just go out and have a little wander around. Very nice. I've got about 4 miles left now, but it's mostly road work, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks for joining me, for tolerating it. This is one of my first videos, so please be easy on me, but any comments, good or bad, greatly appreciated. I'm Jay from I Wander UK, and hopefully catch you another time.